welcome back to DevOps Sync. In this video, we are going to learn checkout action. So let's start. So you can see here, this is my repository with the name sample workflow. And you can see here, we have two files, one folder and one file, GitHub workflows and the readme.md file. And here I am using, you can see here I am using Visual Studio Code. And now you can see we have two files in workflows, action.yaml and sample.yaml file. So now we are in action.yaml file. So now here we can view the path by typing pwd. So here I am going to open terminal, new terminal. And here if I run pwd, then you can see the path of my file. So you can see this is the path that my file, you can say sample workflow in C drive user HP sample workflow. And now also we can check the list of files in this folder using ls command. So you can see here. So here is our folder. You can see here in folder.github and then readme.md file. So now when we are running this command on our virtual machine, where does it run? So let's check. So I'm going to create another step. So let's create. So here in steps, I'm going to add one more tag with the name. And the name will be list files. Adding list files, second tag run. And here I'm going to enter pipe. After that, pwd and then ls. Okay. Now I'm going to save this file, and now I'm going to push this code into my repository. So let's check. So here enter a command for push. So firstly git init. After that git add dot. Then git commit -m and in double quote enter your commit. So my commit will be files list. Then git push. Okay, you can see it's done. Now go to the actions. Now you can see our workflows. So here is our action workflow. And you can see our workflow status success. And now I'm go to this step list files. And here we have our directory, which is something, then our repository name, then again our repository name. You can see here our repository name, sample workflow, and then again sample workflow. So this is a folder, and that is a setup on your virtual machine when you are in workflow. And this is where you can work with your files. But notice when we ran ls here you can see we mentioned ls command. When we ran ls here, so we don't have any files. You can see we have only path. You can see here we don't have any files. So by default GitHub will not clone your repository into your working directory here, and this is because not all workflow will have to use these files in the repository. So in order to clone your repository into your virtual machine in this directory, we can use an action to do that. So here if I am going to search action checkout, So here is action checkout, action for checking out a repo. So you can see here, this is official action and it was created by GitHub. So now let's see how to use it. So here it is, so the user name is action and the repository name is checkout. Here you can see username is action and repository name is checkout. So I'm going to copy this action checkout name. And now I'm going to open my action file, action.yaml file, and here now I'm going to add the name tag, name will be checkout, and after that uses I'm going to paste this name. Okay, that's it. Now after that it will just authenticate with your repository and then fetch the code and check out into the commit that trigger this workflow to run. And so when we push something into our repository which is this one commit, and that we will push with trigger the workflow to run. And this commit, you can see our commit here and commits. And this commit will have a certain ID and we need to check out into this specific commit that triggered the workflow and pull our code from there. And this is exactly what checkout will do. So now let's also copy the steps here and paste here. And it will be list files after checkout. And here we do the ls-a for hidden files. It will show us our hidden files. Okay. Now let's check what will happen. So now I'm going to save this file and now open terminal, new terminal, and let's push this code into our repository. Git init, then git dot, then git commit -m, and my commit will be after checkout. Push. Okay, now that's it. Now go to the actions. Now you can see in our action.yaml there is error. So let's check. Invalid workflow file. You have an error in your YAML.syntax on line number 8. So let's check on line number 8. List files. Okay, yeah. Here indentation is not properly. So you need to careful about indentation. Okay. Now it's done. Now save the file and now let's push the code open new terminal, new git init, then git add dot hyphen m, and the commit. So my commit will be, check out, then git push. Okay, it's done. Now let's check. So now go to the actions and let's check what will happen. Uses attribute must be path. Okay. In uses there is an error. So let's check. Okay, sorry. Here uses and then actions, and that's the repository name, and then that's the name and then repository name, and after that we need to mention here at the rate version 1. That's why they give us error. You can see the error uses attribute must be a path. So that's why they give us error, because here we don't mention here at the rate hyphen, sorry, at the rate version 1. So we need to mention at the rate version 1. Okay, now I'm going to save the file and now open new terminal, and now let's push the code. Git init, git add dot git push, sorry, git commit hyphen m, and in double quote enter your commit. So my commit will be action checkout, and then git push. Okay, now let's go to the action. Now you can see it's running. So let's go to the action workflow. So that's our action workflow. And you can see in progress. And you can see it's succeed. Our flow is succeed. Our job is succeed. So let's go to the workflow. And now here you can see our steps. So here, check out. And here you can see our checkout. Firstly here, you can see here config file, git config. Then here you can see the git fetch here. As you can see, it will do some authentication authorization in order to clone your repository, and it will also run git config to set some configuration, and it will also check out into the commit that trigger. So after checkout, Here you can see after checkout our files in our repository. You can see a GitHub folder, right? That are files. And if I go to the list files, you can see there is no files. That's our only hidden files, right? So that's after checkout. So this checkout action is on of the most common action that you will use in your workflow. So now let's check some environment variable that are set automatically when you run your workflow. So here, I'm going to echo some environment variable and that you can use in your workflow, and these are set automatically. So here let's enter this list files. So the first is, so here we have firstly echo dollar GitHub sh, and this is the commit ID of the specific commit that triggered this workflow. After that, next is dollar GitHub repository. So this is the username and the repository name, and we also have GitHub workflow. Okay. So this GitHub workspace. Okay. And this is the workspace directory which we actually have seen using PWD. And we also have an object called GitHub that we can use. And here, echo double quote dollar, then open curly brace, and here GitHub dot token. Okay. So that's GitHub token, and this is a token that you can use to authenticate which your GitHub repository. So now I'm going to save the file, and now let's push the code. So open terminal and enter command for push code. Firstly git init, then git add dot, then git hyphen m, and then our commit. So my commit will be environment variables. And then git push. So it's done. Now go to the actions and let's check. So here's our action workflow, and it's in progress. You can see here. So you can see the status is queued. That means it's running. So wait for a few seconds. So now you can see here set job complete, then list files. Now check out, then list files after checkout. Now sample JavaScript action. Now you can say hello DevOps hint. Okay. Now job complete job. So you can see our job it succeed. You can see here it's done. So now if I go to the list files, so here you can see our commit that we mentioned GitHub SHA. You can see here. Firstly, we mention here echo GitHub SHA. So you can see our commit. After that, we mention GitHub repository. So you can see our repository, our name, our DevOps hint, and our repository name is sample workflow. And after that, here I mentioned GitHub workspace. So you can see here the GitHub workspace. You can see our repository name and again our repository name. That means PWD path, right? So that's the environment variable. So thank you for watching our video. So in this video, we have learned action checkout actions and environment variables. So thank you for watching our video. I hope you like the video and it's helpful to you. So please like, share and subscribe our DevOps channel.